Let's do a book haul. Need water to prepare. I would say this is like 2, maybe 3 months of books that have come into my possession because I paid for them. And some of them are really pretty, and I've already read a couple of them, and they're also very good. So I figured you might want to know about that. Where should I start? I guess we could count them. 21. I probably should have put these like in a specific order, so let's do that really quick. So different piles. We have a Costco book, 2 that I bought from a sale that was happening through Illumicrate, 3 other ones from subscription boxes. This is a book that I purchased independently. These ones are all from Barnes. I couldn't help myself. And then these are all ones that I bought recently through Pango. The Costco book from Costco, is The Night It Ends with Fire. It has pretty edges, which I'm a sucker. It's horrible. Also has the end papers. I will fully admit that I won't always read the description of a book before buying it if I have either heard of it from somebody else or if it's probably gonna be good. If it's sitting on that table at Costco, it's probably not gonna be the worst thing I've ever read. And I don't remember how much I paid for it, but it sure was not $30. I think it was like $17, $18. The Night Ends with Fire is about the 3 kingdoms who are at war. Main character's father refuses to answer the imperial draft. Trapped by opium addiction, he plans to sell the main character for her dowry, but she's not into her betrothed. She takes matters into her own hands, disguises herself as a boy, joins the army. Mulan, maybe? Next are 2 books that I picked up in Illumicrate's recent sale. One is Goddess of the River. I looked to see if it would be easy to obtain the other book by this author, but it is expansive because people like it. That's the hard part. And sometimes I will admit, if I see a bunch of a book on like a resale website like Pango, it does make me think again, like if it is a newer book and there are a lot of it, people probably did not like it. But I have heard good things about this from other booktubers, and we'll see how it is. It also, pretty edges. And this one is about the goddess of the river, who would have thought, who serves as a caretaker for other godlings, and she gets herself in trouble. Though she knows nothing of mortal life, she weds a king and becomes a queen. Oh, she also has a hard time of it. Her son unwittingly carries the legacy of her curse, and when he makes an oath that he'll never claim his father's throne, he sets in motion a chain of events that will end in a terrible and tragic war. Also, beautiful end papers. Oh yeah, look at that. The other book I picked up in Illumicrate sale is a Martha Wells book. I have a lot of patrons at the library ask for another one of her series, and I thought I would give this one a go. Pretty. After being murdered, his consciousness dormant and unaware of the passing of time while confined in an elaborate water trap, the main character wakes up to find a lesser mage attempting to harness his magic to the bad dude's own advantage. But why was the main character imprisoned in the first place? What has changed in the world since his assassination? And why does the Rising World, in capital letters, Rising World, coalition appear to be growing in influence? He will need to pull his allies close and draw on all his pain magic if he's ever to answer even the least of these questions, he's not going to like the answers. We've got some vibes with these ones. Moving on to books that I've gotten in my book subscriptions recently. Let's do that one last. This is The Afterlight. It is Hot Summer by Elle Everhart. Also, digitally printed edges the whole way around. And papers. Cass Morgan has spent years of her life watching Hot Summer, the hit dating show that pairs together a bunch of sexy singles in an exotic island location. But she never quite thought she'd be part of it until her company secures a partnership with the show and Cass is handpicked as a contestant. If she does well and makes it to the finals, her long-awaited promotion will be secure. Cass is ready to spend the summer trying to win over the voting public. Oh, that's never a good sign. But just as she steps into the villa, her entire plan goes off course. She's instantly smitten with fellow contestant Ada. Ada is gorgeous and charming. As Cass's feelings for Ada become undeniable, she's torn between listening to her heart and sticking to her strategy. I mean, we already know that she's going to go with her heart, but it is about the journey, not the destination. The next book that came in a subscription box is The Next Best Fling by Gabriela Gamez, and this came in the Love Parnassus box. It is a bookstore, Parnassus, out of Nashville, Tennessee, and it's run by one of my favorite authors, Ann Patchett. So, The Next Best Fling is, if you can't be with the one you love, fake date someone else. Librarian Marcela Ortiz has been secretly in love with her best friend for years, and when he gets engaged, she knows it's long past time to move on. But when she dutifully attends the engagement party, as a good, quietly suffering friend does, Marcella discovers that she's not the only one with an unrequited crush. She may have it bad for the groom-to-be, but his hot ex-NFL brother, Theo Young, has it even worse for the bride. Before either of them knows exactly what they're doing, Marcella and Theo agree to get over their breakup by fake dating. Only the attraction between them doesn't feel remotely like pretending. Soon enough, they're doing real couple things like flirting in the library aisles and exploring their simmering chemistry between the sheets. There's no way this could ever become anything real, especially when they're supposed to be pining for someone else. But are they actually moving on, or is this too much of a good fling? Something great about this book box is that they do a really good job of choosing more diverse romance reads, not just stuff that's popular and not stuff that's just like straight white people. So if you need some help diversifying, this is a good box to get. And you don't have to make any decisions, you just get your box every month. Hard to go wrong. The most recent box I've gotten is my Alumer crate for this month. It literally came in yesterday, and I actually already read this book this month. I got the advanced listener copy. I think I got it through Libro FM, and really loved it. So I was actually very excited when this came in the mail because I was kind of wanting to get a physical copy, and now I have a gorgeous copy. So there we go. I already bought it, and it just showed up. It's perfect. The Pairing is Casey McQuiston's most recent book. You probably know her from Red, White, and Royal Blue, and she has a bunch of other really great books. I think this one's probably my second favorite after Red, White, and Royal Blue. This one has a cover that is exclusive to the book box, and comes with the character art and the letter, blah, blah, blah. But what I really love about this is the edges on it. It is like this cute little map that shows some of the places that they go in the story. Also, look at this super cute naked hardback. There you go. I really loved this book. I think I gave it a 4.5. And it is about two people, and they were friends, and then they became lovers, but then something happened on the plane as they're trying to go on a trip, and they end up breaking up. And then 2 years later, they individually, they haven't spoken in that entire time. Individually, they book that same tour thinking, I got this voucher, I gotta use it. And so they, fall in love again. It's very cute. They go fun places. The banter is totally on point. It is definitely spicy, so if you're not into spice, this one might not be for you, but it also has good LGBTQ plus representation. Okay, so I'm just looking at this copy of The Pairing and my next book that I'm showing you. Look at that. They kind of match. I love it. So this is Unbounded by Liz Montoya. She's actually my sister-in-law, so, I'm a little biased. This is her most recent book, and it is the new series that she has started. I already read it. I actually read it when I was on my trip last month, and then did I finish it? Oh, yeah, I finished it on the airplane. It was very cute. It's like a forbidden love, age gap, best friends, little sister type of thing. And by age gap, I mean it's like 10 years or something. So I'm gonna read back to you. She wants a fling, but he wants forever. I can't count the number of chips my parents have left on my shoulder, but I'm finally free and thriving. Thanks to a trust fund and my brother's best friend, Gabo Godoy, I have the chance to curate my own gallery while spending the summer in Italy. That's all this summer was supposed to be, a fun fling in the sun, searching for art and loving every minute of it. But I wasn't expecting Gabo to be, to put it bluntly, a very hot, panty-melting, intriguing man, one who has his sights set on me. He listens, he cares, he wants me for me, but he deserves someone willing to put their past behind them and fall head over heels in love with him. That isn't me. So there's more, but I feel like that is a really good taste of what the book is about. Also, if you order it from the author's website, I think her website is lizmontoya.com, so super easy. You can also just Google her up. When I ordered it, she sent me along like these cute little bookmarks with the main characters, and it has their little tropes on the back: brother's best friend, age gap, forced proximity, fling to happily ever after, commitment phobe, summer in Italy. And it also came with cute little stickers. So there you go. And I don't want to brag, but I do. But she actually dedicated the book to me, which is very sweet. I wasn't expecting that. That's one worth picking up. Super fun. I think it might also be on Kindle Unlimited. So if that is your jam, go for it. Okay, next is stuff that I got from Barnes over a little bit of a span of time. Some I went in and got, and others I ordered on the line. I have a hot take. I did not enjoy Shadow and Bone, but I have heard really good things about Six of Crows. And my friend Michelle, she's also an author. I have a lot of great authors in my life. Michelle Hazen. She loves Six of Crows. I don't know if it's her favorite book ever, but I would bet it's in the top 10 if I had to guess. And she's been telling me forever to read it. So when I saw that on Barnes, they were having like this both of the books in the 50, like as a pack, as part of the 50 buy one get one half off. And so that was a pretty easy choice to pick them up. So Six of Crows, a bustling hub of international trade where anything can be had for the right price, and no one knows that better than criminal prodigy Kaz. Kaz is offered a chance at a deadly heist that could make him rich beyond his wildest dreams, but he can't put it off alone. A convict with a thirst for revenge, a sharpshooter who can't walk away from a wager, a runaway with a privileged past, a spy known as the Wraith, a heart-render using her magic to survive the slums, a thief with a gift for unlikely escapes. Kaz's crew are the only ones who might stand between the world and destruction if they don't kill each other first. So I'm gonna give it a go. I think it might be a winter read for me. Michelle hasn't steered me wrong yet. I think it was in the same order. Oh, I forgot a book. The one that the purpose of me ordering these. Okay, sheesh, I can't believe I forgot this one. It's because I already had it, like, shelved where it's supposed to live. So, I picked up a copy of First Test, but the graphic novel by Tamara Pierce, and it is an adaptation by Devin Grayson and Becca Farrow. I will admit, I think I've only read like maybe 5 graphic novels ever, but I love Tamara Pierce. Tamara Pierce is an auto buy for me. If you somehow have not heard of her, she's a YA author. She does fantasy stuff, and I've been reading her books for ages. So when I saw the graphic novel was coming out, I was like, okay, well, I'll just pick it up from Barnes when I'm driving by there. And they didn't have it. I checked the website over a couple of weeks and then finally gave in and just ordered it online. I've already read the series itself a couple of times, so I imagine it follows the same storyline pretty closely. Kel is going to be a knight and no one can stop her. Keladri of Mindolin is the first girl who dares to take advantage of a new rule in Tortal, one that allows females to train for knighthood. After years in the Yamani Islands, she knows that women can be fierce warriors, and she's determined to achieve her goal, no matter the traditional hazing and grueling schedule of a page. But standing in Kel's way is Lord Wilden. The training master is dead set against girls becoming knights, but he says she must pass a trial that no male page has ever had to endure. However, Kel is not to be underestimated. She will fight to succeed even when the test is unfair. This is one that has been on my TBR before it even came out last year. Has it been that long already? Babel by R.F. Kuang. I have not read any of this author stuff, but I hear it's all good. So I'm very excited to pick it up. I hear it is, and I can see it by looking at the tiny print on the page, that it's pretty involved. Also has like no margins. 1828, Robin Swift, orphaned by cholera in Canton, is brought to London by the mysterious Professor Lavelle. There, Robin trains for years in Latin, ancient Greek, and Chinese, all in preparation for the day he'll enroll in Oxford University's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation, also known as Babel. Babel is the world center for translation and, more importantly, magic. Silverworking, the art of manifesting the meaning lost in translation using enchanted silver bars, has made the British unparalleled in power as the arcane craft serves the empire's quest for colonization. For Robin, Oxford is a utopia dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge, but knowledge obeys power, and as a Chinese boy raised in Britain, he realizes serving Babel means betraying his motherland. As his studies progress, Robin finds himself caught between Babel and the shadowy Hermes Society, an organization dedicated to stopping imperial expansion. While Britain pursues an unjust war with China over silver and opium, Robin must decide, can powerful institutions be changed from within, or does revolution always require violence? It should be super good, especially since apparently the author is currently pursuing a PhD in East Asian languages and literatures at Yale. Writing books and working on a PhD, that's pretty fierce. The next is a sequel to a book that I read this spring and really enjoyed it, so I picked up the sequel, and that would be Leather and Lark. After contract killer Lachlan Kane botches a job for his boss's biggest client, he knows he'll never claw his way out of the underworld. At least not until songbird Lark Montague offers him a deal. Hunt down a killer and she'll secure his freedom. The catch? He has to marry her, and they can't stand each other. This next book was one that was not part of the 50% off, buy one get one 50% off, but it was so pretty and I heard such great things that I went ahead and picked up a copy. It was still on sale because it was like a special book. And that would be Real Americans. Really pretty sprayed edges. And this book is heavy. I don't know if it's like the quality of the paper is nicer. Real Americans begins in New York City on the precipice of Y2K when 22-year-old Lily Chen, an unpaid intern at a slick media company, meets Matthew. Matthew is everything she is not. Poised, confident, and most notably, heir to a vast pharmaceutical fortune. Lily, the only child of scientists who fled Mao's Cultural Revolution, was raised in Tampa and is flat broke. Despite their differences, Lily and Matthew fall in love. In 2021, 15-year-old Nick Chen feels like an outsider on the isolated Washington Island where he lives with his single mother, Lily. He can't shake the sense she's hiding something. When Nick sets out to find his biological father, the quest threatens to raise more questions than it provides answers. So, a little bit of lit fic. This might be the only one in this stack, but better than nothing. Let's do another Barnes fantasy book, Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I think only my husband really calls him Brando Sando, but if that's like a real thing, feel free to comment about that. I will admit I have never read any Brandon Sanderson books, so I figured, why not try Tress of the Emerald Sea? I hear it's not like his other books, so that's also my reason for reading this one first, so that, if I like it, great, I won't be comparing it to his other books, and if I don't like it, great, it's not like his other books. The only life Tress has known on her island home in an emerald green ocean has been a simple one, with the simple pleasures of collecting cups brought by sailors from faraway lands and listening to stories told by her friend Charlie. But when his father takes him on a voyage to find a bride and disaster strikes, Tress must stow away on a ship and seek the sorceress of the deadly Midnight Sea. Amid the spore oceans where pirates abound, can Tress leave her simple life behind and make her own place sailing a sea where a single drop of water can mean instant death? We will find out. These next two, they are both nonfiction. One is a book, I think it's on my TBR for the year. Is that true? And then the other one is by an author who I've read before that I really enjoyed. It has little bats, like the flying kind, not the baseball kind. So we'll go with this one first, The Art Thief, a true story of love, crime, and dangerous obsession by Michael Finkel. He wrote Stranger in the Woods. It's about a hermit who was living in the woods for a super long time. It was so good. If you haven't read Stranger in the Woods, you need to read Stranger in the Woods. Also, I'm pretty sure this is the same author. I don't remember the name of the book or the name of the movie, but there was a movie based on the book, which is based on real life, about Michael Finkel. And essentially this criminal kind of tries to steal his identity, and Michael Finkel had messed up at his job, and so he decides to interview the criminal and be like, why did you pick me? Like, why did you use my name for this? And so it's about their relationship, and it was super interesting. But this one, The Art Thief, Stefan Breitwieser is the most prolific art thief of all time. He pulled off more than 200 heists, often in crowded museums in broad daylight. His girlfriend served as his accomplice. His collection was worth an estimated $2 billion. He never sold a piece, displaying his stolen art in his attic bedroom. He felt like a king until everything came to a shocking end. In this spellbinding portrait of obsession and flawed genius, Michael Finkel gives us one of the most remarkable true crime narratives of our time, a riveting story of art, theft, love, and an insatiable hunger to possess beauty at any cost. And the second nonfiction book in my stack is Fireweather, On the Front Lines of a Burning World by John Vaillant. I have not read anything by this author, but it's supposed to be super good. Halfway through the hottest year of the hottest decade in recorded history, a new kind of fire introduced itself to the world. The multi-billion-dollar disaster at Fort McMurray, the hub of Canada's oil industry and America's biggest foreign supplier, melted vehicles and turned houses into firebombs, and drove 88,000 people from the city in a single afternoon. It was the wildfire equivalent of Hurricane Katrina. Fireweather meticulously chronicles the events leading to this inevitable collision between fire and humankind. I feel like I should probably read this one soon, specifically because it is wildfire season. Can you guys even see me over this stack of books? Okay, yeah, it's not really that tall yet. This stack of books are my recent Pango Books purchases, so thank you to all the Pango sellers who did such a great job of not just listing their books, but packaging them and sending them off super quick. I'm always really impressed with them. Okay, let's start with one that I actually just finished last night, and I loved it, and I cannot wait to read the second book. That book, and I have seen a couple of other booktubers say they were disappointed with it, but I am not them. I am with the majority. That book is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I loved it. I don't know that it's 5 stars. Maybe. If it's not, it's super close. It is so good. It is a romantasy, but I don't feel like the romance is super overpowering. It is gothic. The writing is lovely, but still, like, for the common reader, you know? Anybody could read this book and have the potential to enjoy it. Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie, mist-locked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her, he keeps her safe. But nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the road, her life takes a drastic turn. Thrust into the world of shadow and deception, she joins a dangerous quest to cure Blunder of the dark magic infecting it. Except the highwayman just so happens to be the king's own nephew, captain of the most dangerous men in Blunder, and guilty of high treason. Super good, high stakes. I would say not super like high fantasy. It does create its own world, but it's not like reading Tolkien or something, you know? So the next 2 books are books that I have read and enjoyed, and I just wanted to pick up copies of them because I listen to the audiobook. The vast majority, I would say easily over 90% of books that I read are audiobooks. And so when I like something, I want to try and get a physical copy of it. Sometimes, if the deal is right. The first book is The Cartographers by Payne Shepherd. He has a new book that just came out, like this summer, and I haven't heard anything about it yet, so I need to read it. What is the purpose of a map? Nell Young's whole life and greatest passion is cartography. Her father, Dr. Daniel Young, is a legend in the field and Nell's personal hero, but she hasn't seen or spoken to him ever since he cruelly fired her and destroyed her reputation after an argument over an old cheap gas station highway map. But when Dr. Young is found dead in his office at the New York Public Library, with the very same seemingly worthless map hidden in his desk, Nell can't resist investigating. To her surprise, she soon discovers that the map is incredibly valuable and exceedingly rare. In fact, she may now have the only copy left in existence, because a mysterious collector has been hunting them down and destroying every last one, along with anyone who gets in the way. But why? To answer that question, Nell embarks on a dangerous journey to reveal a dark family secret and discovers the true power that lies in maps. The next book is one that is recent-ish. I think I listened to it last year, and that is Portrait of a Thief by Grace D. Lee. And this is a special copy. I don't remember who, oh, it's an Illumicrate. It's so cute. Look at that. Little tigers. And then it has an alternate cover / poster. Across the Western world, museums display the spoils of war, of conquest, of colonialism, priceless pieces of art looted from other countries, kept even now. That's definitely true. You should, if you don't know anything about that, this book does a pretty good job talking about it, but it's also worth some research. Super bananas. Will Chen plans to steal them back. A senior at Harvard, Will fits comfortably in his carefully curated roles. A perfect student, an art history major, an artist, a perfect son, the American dream. But when a shadowy corporation reaches out with an impossible and illegal job offer, Will finds himself as something else as well. The leader of a heist to steal back 5 priceless Chinese sculptures looted from Beijing centuries ago. His crew is every heist archetype one can imagine, or at least the closest he can get. Each has their own complicated relationship with China and the identity they've cultivated as Chinese Americans. But when Will asks, none of them can turn him down. If they succeed, they earn $50 million and a chance to make history. If they fail, it's not just the loss of everything they've dreamed for themselves, but yet another thwarted attempt to take back what colonialism has stolen. There you go. I think that is at least 2 books in this stack about colonialism. The next book I picked up because I read it with my ears last summer, and I really enjoyed it. It was very engaging, very memorable, and the second book is coming out soon. Anyway, that book is Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong, and I liked it so much that I went ahead and hunted down the pretty, I think this is a Fairy Loot copy, because I know it's gonna come back out. The second book, I'm assuming they will also carry, and so it'd be fun to have a little match set. So if you haven't heard of this one, it's kind of Hunger Games-esque. Every year, thousands flock to San-Er, the dangerously dense capital, twin cities of the Kingdom of Talon, where the palace hosts a set of deadly games. Those confident in their ability to jump between bodies can enter and fight to the death for the chance to win unimaginable riches. Princess Kala has been hiding for 5 years, ever since she murdered her parents to free the people of Talon from her tyrannical family. Only one person stands in her way from finishing the job, her reclusive uncle, who is the king. However, she knows he always greets the victor of the games. If she wins, she will finally get the chance to kill him. Enter Anton, whose childhood love has lain in a coma since they were both ousted from the palace. He's deep in debt trying to keep her alive, which means his last chance at saving her is entering the games and winning. When Anton proposes an unexpected alliance with Kala, they quickly find their partnership spiraling into something all-consuming. But before the games close, Kala must decide what she's playing for, her lover or her kingdom. For no matter what, only one of them can walk out alive. So the next 2 books, Bottom Pango, I was gonna buy them from Barnes because they're having a hardback book sale, but then I thought I'll just check and see if I can get them cheaper other places. And I did. One of them I spent a little bit more than I was wanting to spend, but a friend from high school convinced me to go ahead and just buy it and enjoy it. And that is Fall of Wrath and Ruin by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I'm pretty much caught up on her other series, Blood and Ash. And I know there was a book that came out in this like offshoot series, came out super recently. And you know, why not just add a whole nother series to follow? I don't think I'm gonna read the description of this book. I think I'm gonna go in blind, because I have like a vague sense of what it's going to be about, and I don't want my brain coming up with what the conclusion will be before I have to. Okay, and the last book in this stack, it's a massive stack of books, is Sons of Darkness. Printed edge, sprayed edges on the other sides. It is about 650 pages. Some ballads are inked in blood, bled dry by violent confrontations with the Empire. The Republic simmers on the brink of oblivion. Senator Christian and his third wife have put their plans in motion, both within and beyond the Republic's blood-soaked borders, to protect it from total annihilation. But they are soon to discover that neither gold nor alliances last forever, and that they are not the only players on the board. Maddie, pirate princess of Kalinga, has decided to mend her ways and become a good wife. But old habits die hard, especially when one habitually uses murder to settle old scores. Yeah, that would be a challenge. Brooding and beautiful Karna hopes to bury his brutal past, but finds that destiny is a miser when it comes to granting second chances. Hero turned torturer, Shakuni limps through a path of daggers. Meanwhile, his foes and woes multiplying, leaving little time for vengeance. Their lives are about to become yet more difficult as a cast of sinister queens, naive kings, pious assassins, and ravenous priests are converging where the Son of Darkness is prophesied to rise. Even as forgotten gods prepare to play their hand. I'm guessing it's gonna go across different POVs. I haven't heard anything about this book, but I'm looking forward to it. Okay, I'm so tired of reading you guys book descriptions, but I hope that was helpful and interesting, and I'd be curious to know if you've read any of these that I haven't read that you think that I should start with first. Thanks for watching. I know I bought all of these, but please go support your local library. This is just a small percentage of reading that I do. And it's important to support authors, but otherwise, support your local library. You can find a lot of these, and a lot of times you can put multiple holds on multiple books, so you can kind of stagger them as they come in. If you see something here that you liked and you read, but you need suggestions about what to read next, ask somebody at your library. They will have great resources, and a lot of times they are also readers. So enjoy, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.